Good day, students. On this clip, we're going to be going over some examples on how to evaluate rational expressions, focusing on the operation of adding and subtracting. Okay, so let's go ahead and write down question number one. We're going to evaluate the rational expression. Evaluate 3 over x plus 5 over 3x. Alright, now we know that the denominators must be the same in order for us to combine these two fractions, so we need to make the denominators the same. So what we have to do is break down the denominators. This is a 1 term, cannot be broken down as prime, so we have x plus 5 over 3 times x. Okay, now in order to make the denominators common, we have to multiply the respective sides by different variations of 1. Okay, so the variation of 1 you're going to be multiplying this left expression by is 3, because we have an x here and an x here, which is good. But this 3, we need a 3 over here. So I'm going to be multiplying this side by 1, 3 in the bottom, and 3 on the top. Have I changed the problem? Absolutely not, because 1 is a multiplicative identity, and it doesn't change anything when you multiply by 1, alright? So there you have it. So we're going to have, this is going to become the expression 9 multiplying the numerator over 3x plus 5 over 3x. What does this tell me? This tells me that the LCD, the lowest common divisor, is 3x. Alright? When you make the denominators identical, using this procedure, you're going to end up finding the LCD, which is what you have. Alright? So what you're going to do next is, since you have the LCD, combine the two denominators as 1, and then you add the numerators, 9 plus 5. What is 9 plus 5? 14 over 3x. And there goes your final answer. Alright, let's go ahead and try another example. Question number 2. What if we were to evaluate the rational expression 3 over 35 xy minus 2x over 5y. Alright, so for this one, I want to find the LCD, but it's good to break down the denominators completely so I can know what factors are present in both sides and which ones I need to include on one side. Alright, so I'm going to have 3 over, if you break down 35, you have 5 times 7 times x times y minus 2x over 5 times y. Alright, let's do our accounting here. We have a 5 on the left and a 5 on the right. That's perfect. We have a y on the left and a y on the right. It's good. We need a 7 on the right and also an x. So we need to multiply the right fraction by a variation of 1, which is 7 over 7. And we have to multiply by another variation of 1, which is x over x. Okay? So I didn't change the problem because I'm multiplying by 1. Alright, so if you look at the denominator now, we have a 7 here, a 7 here. We have an x here and an x here. So the denominators are identical. That's exactly what we want. So we're going to have 3 over 35xy minus, if you multiply the top, you're going to have 14x squared over the denominator 35xy. Okay, what does this tell me? It tells me that the LCD of the denominator in this problem is basically 35xy. Alright, the goal is always to make the denominator the LCD, so 35xy. Okay, so now, since the denominators are identical, we can just write them as 1, 35xy, and then we combine the top, 3 minus 14x squared. And there goes your final answer. Alright, we'll go ahead and box it for you. There you have it. Alright, let's try another example. Example number 3. Number 3, we're going to do 6 over 5x squared minus 6x minus 4y over 5x to the third. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and break down the denominator so I can find the LCD with these. So I'm going to have 6 on the left side over, if I break down 5x squared, I have 5 times x minus on the right side 6x minus 4y over 5 times x times x times x. Okay? So if we do an accounting real quick, we notice that there's 1 5 here, 1 5 here, that's good. 1x, 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 1x. Uh-oh, there's an extra x here that needs to be inserted here. So I'm going to multiply the left side by a variation of 1, which is basically x over x. So times it by x up and bottom. So you're going to have 6x over 5x to the third minus 6x minus 4y over 5x to the third. What does this tell me? It tells me that the LCD in this problem is 5x to the third. Alright? Alright, so now let's go ahead and do subtraction. Since the denominators are identical, we're going to write it just as 1, 5x to the third. And then we're going to have 6x. Anytime you have a minus, you have to distribute the minus. Distribute the minus to the 6, and then distribute the minus to the negative 4y. Okay, so what the minuses do, they do the opposite sign. So this positive 6x becomes minus 6x, and then this minus 4y becomes positive 4y. Alright, now when you combine these two opposites, they add to 0, so you're going to have 4y over 5y to the third. And there goes your final answer for number 3. Okay? Alright. Welcome back, students. The following examples we're going to do are going to be for part 2 of the notes. So let's go ahead and take a look at first example. So for number 1, still adding and subtracting rational expressions. We're going to do evaluate the expression 2 over 5 minus x plus 2 over x minus 3. Okay? If you notice, this cannot be factored, it's prime, and this can't be factored either. These two terms are primes, so what we just have to do is find the LCD. So we need to make the denominators alike. Let me rewrite the problem down here again. The denominators must be the same so that we can combine them. So this has a 5, so this term right here needs a 5, so we're going to multiply the top and bottom by 5. 5 top and bottom. So this has a 5, and this has a 5. That's good. Now on the right side, we have the quantity x plus 3. This quantity x plus 3. So this side right here needs a variation of 1, which is x plus 3 on the top and the bottom. So we're going to multiply this by x plus 3 on the top. I'm sorry, x minus 3 on the top and on the bottom. Alright, so x minus 3 and x minus 3. Okay, so now what we're going to do is distribute this 2 to both terms. On the numerator and the denominator, we're going to distribute this 5 to both terms. Okay, so on the left side, we're going with distribution, it will yield 2 times x, 2x. 2 times negative 3 is minus 6. Divided by 5 times 2 is 5x. 5 times x is 5x. And then 5 times 3 is negative 15. Minus. On the right side, we're going to distribute also. The numerator will distribute 5 to both terms. So we have minus 5x. And 5 times 2 is plus 10. Over the denominator, distribute the 5 to both terms. So 5 times x is 5x. And then 5 times 15 is minus 15. Alright, notice that our denominators are both the same, so that basically tells me that the LCD of this fraction is 5x minus 15. Okay? Now that we have the lowest common denominator, divisor, we're going to combine the two denominators into one. And we'll write that, we'll combine them into one. And then we're going to resolve the numerator. Okay, so combine them into 5x minus 15. And then the numerator will have 2x minus 6. Now this minus will be distributed to this 5x and to this positive 10. Alright? Okay, always distribute the sign. So minus times 5x becomes negative 5x. And negative times positive 10x becomes negative 10. Okay, anytime you have a minus, be sure to distribute because it changes the sign of both terms. Okay, so let's combine like terms here. 2x minus 5x is negative 3x. And then minus 6 minus 10 is negative 16. And then that will be divided by 5x minus 15. Okay? And there you have your final answer. Let's go ahead and box that. Okay, let's try one more example. Well, let's try number 2. Let's evaluate the expression 2 over n minus 4 minus 5n over n minus 3. Okay, notice that I cannot break down this term and this term. Nothing can be broken down, so we have to just go straight and find the LCD. So this has n minus 3 as a unit, so on this side I'm going to multiply top and bottom by a variation of 1, which is n minus 3. So times it by n minus 3, top and bottom, because that's the same thing as multiplying by 1. Now this has an n minus 3, this has an n minus 3, this has an n minus 4, so this side needs an n minus 4, so I times it by n minus 4, top and bottom. You notice now the denominators are identical, n minus 3 and n minus 4, n minus 3, n minus 4. Remember, multiplication commutes, so the order of the product does not really matter. Okay, so on the numerator, I'm going to distribute 2 to n, negative 3. And then here, I'm going to distribute negative 5 to n, just 5n to n and 4. Okay? We don't need to bother with the denominator. We'll leave the denominator in its factored form because we do not desire to have it combined. Okay? So the denominator is going to be n minus 3 times n minus 4. Now if you distribute 2 to those terms, you have 2n minus 6. And then if you distribute negative 5, minus 5 times n is negative 5n squared. And then minus 5n times 4 is positive 20n. Okay. We combine like terms. We have, starting with the biggest degree, we have negative 5n squared. And then if we combine 20 and 2 plus 22n minus 6, and then that divided by the denominator, which is n minus 3 times n minus 4. And there you have it. Okay? Alright. So, thanks so much for paying attention to this presentation. Please subscribe to my videos. You can just click up here, subscribe, and you can share with your friends via Facebook and Twitter. More videos can be found on myjobserve.com. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day.